Hello. Today we're going to go over how to create a section with multiple meeting patterns. So to start, we're going to create a new section. From here, we're going to create a hybrid section. So we are going to create a section that meets hybrid in person and online. So our campus location is going to stay on Boulder main campus. Our instruction mode, we've changed to hybrid in person online. We can keep all of the other fields standard. We don't know our instructor, so we can leave that. And our room, we are going to leave that alone for now. We're going to assign the room when we assign our meeting patterns. So we're going to move into creating the meeting patterns by clicking on the hyperlink. That takes us to the snapper screen. So to start with, we're going to assign first our in-person meeting time. So going up at the top to the patterns, we're going to select the meeting pattern that we want. So for this instance, we want to meet twice a week for 50 minutes. We select the meeting pattern that we want for that. Now, instead of hitting accept, what we're going to do is we're going to go down to this bottom button that says meetings. When we click on this is going to pull up a half screen that shows us all of our meeting pattern lines. Currently, we only have one meeting pattern line, but we do need to add an additional line to show that we have a remote meeting line as well. So we're going to click on this green plus button. This is going to pull up the meeting details. We can't add the pattern from the screen because we need to use the snapper screen to add a pattern. So for this line, we are going to add our remote meeting pattern. So this class meets in person on Tuesday, Thursday, but then it meets one day remotely, which means it'll meet synchronously one day a week. Our dates are just going to pull from whatever session we selected, so you don't have to worry about changing the dates there. And then we can hit accept. Now we have two different meeting lines, but we need to adjust the time and day that this meets remotely meeting line meets. To use the snapper screen, whenever we snap in a meeting pattern, it's going to change it for whichever line is highlighted in green. Currently, our pattern A is highlighted in green, but we need to edit pattern B. So we'll select pattern B. It'll close that window for you so that you have your full access to your snapper screen. Now we're going to use this screen to select the meeting pattern that we want. If I go back down to this meetings tab, we can see that now pattern B has that meeting day and time assigned to it. So now currently we have a Tuesday, Thursday, 9:30 to 10:20 meeting in person, and a Wednesday, 2:30 to 3:20 meeting remotely, which is exactly what we want. So we're going to press this red X to close that mini screen, and then we're going to hit accept. When we go back to this main screen, you can see that this rooms drop down is now grayed out. The reason for that is because we can't select the room from this screen because class doesn't know what pattern to assign that room to. So we forgot to assign our room to our in-person time, so we need to assign it. So instead of trying to use this drop down, we're going to go back into that snapper screen. We're going to go back to this meeting tabs, and now for pattern A, we're going to edit it, and we're going to select the pencil icon. Now we get the option to edit the room, so we can either use the drop down here, or we could also use the 25 Live Room Seek tool, also from this screen as well. In this instance, we know that we want to use this department scheduled room. We'll hit accept, close out of that half screen, hit accept. And now we've got our two different meeting times, which we can see on our schedule. Though we can't view the rooms here, we do know that we have 2 different rooms. And if we needed to review them, all we need to do is go back into the snapper screen, go back to that meetings tab, and now we can see the 2 different rooms that are assigned. And from here, we can fill out whatever additional fields we need to fill out. We'll need to make sure to add our hybrid note. And once we're good and ready, we can hit Save Section, and that is our section would be completed. The same would apply if you were doing an online section as well. If you were doing hybrid in person and online, the only difference is when you go to assign your meeting patterns, you'd have your one in-person meeting pattern. You'd add your second meeting pattern, but instead you would select online as the room, hit accept, edit your room for your in-person time, close out, hit accept, and that's all you would need to do. Since online is asynchronous, you do not need to add a meeting day or time if it's a hybrid in-person and online. Once all your other fields are filled out, you can hit Save Section and submit to workflow if in review phase. If in refine mode. And that is how to add multiple meeting patterns.